This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I am here with vigneron extraordinaire Pierre Seillan. How are you today, sir?
Very good. My first time in Toronto. I'm very pleased, and it's a beautiful weather. And I'm on my way to Tuscany, and I just finished my harvest in Sonoma for Vérité. I'm very happy to make a stop here.
Excellent. Now, you make wines all over the world. You're originally from Gascony, but you make wines in St Emilion, in Sonoma, and in Tuscany. And you just told me you make some wine in Gascony as well.
Correct. Yeah.
Please tell me a little bit about the properties that you make wine at.
Of course, I like to start with the Sonoma County, where I'm working with Jackson family wine. And for the last 16 years, it's my 16th vintage this year. And I create the Vérité wine with Jess Jackson and Barbara Banchi. And today's, I can say, the wine from Vérité were three wines, Bordeaux blend. One is called La Muse, with a Merlot base, with a majority of Merlot, about 90% Merlot and a little bit Cab Franc. The other wine is called Vérité La Joie, with more Médoc style, like Pauillac, with majority of Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and Petit Verdot. And the third wine has a majority of Cabernet Franc and Merlot, and a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon sometimes. More St Emilion with the Cabernet Franc excellence.
And then those are just the wines that you're making over in Sonoma.
I make some other wine. I make some wine about the 100% Cabernet Sauvignon from the Night Valley on the foothill of the Mount St Helena. Beautiful estate, very exceptional soil, facing southwest, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. Vine are about 20 years old, and this is what I call a single vineyard, single varietal. Very elegant, powerful, and very food forward, and with a lot of finesse.
Now, would you say that your heart was back in the southwest of France, or have you learned to find a home away from home in other parts of the world?
This is hard to answer, but because I have a lot of, I receive a lot from the message of the soul everywhere I am. I am like a vine. A vine doesn't know if it grows in Médoc or St Emilion. A vine doesn't know if it grows in Napa or Sonoma side. When I am in a country like Tuscany, the terroir Tuscany, the terroir St Emilion, the terroir Gascony, the terroir Sonoma, my heart and my spirit are already captured by the message of the soul and the weather condition. That's why I like to create wine with the excellence, also with the best farming, and especially with the message of the soul and the signature of the terroir.
Your wines have received some very favorable reviews from some of the foremost wine critics in the world. As a winemaker, as a vigneron, how do you feel about the role of wine critics in how successful your wines are?
Yes, received some very good comments from many different writers and critics in the world, not only in Sonoma, not only in St Emilion and Tuscany. What I did appreciate with the critics, they did receive the way of my winemaking, my farming, because the grapes come from a good farming, the good grape, and we have an exceptional terroir on the mountainside in any region. For example, Tuscany, the topography looks like the Sonoma County in terms of topography, and St Emilion, we are on the coast of St Emilion, close to the Château Pavé or Tremblant-Bordeaux. Everywhere we are on a very appropriate soil for farming the grape, with a poor soil, and of course we are farming with a low yield. And I'm very pleased, most of the critics did appreciate my way of winemaking, where when I privilege the message of the soil and to capture what I call the right of the soil, with the signature of the terroir, with my style of winemaking.
Speaking of your style of winemaking, would you say that you were a traditionalist, or were you a winemaker who liked to embrace new technologies?
When I was young, I was under the influence of the old tradition of France. And according to that, I was educated by my grandparents, my parents, who were under the influence of their grandparents as well. And both sides of my family, they were viticulturists and winemakers from both sides of my family. And of course, when you arrive you're born after World War II, we did receive a new message of anything in technology, anything in mechanization. And I was thinking, I want to improve the tradition, not revolutionize the tradition. I want to improve the tradition, but keep, number one, the message of the soul inside my wine.
Getting back to your roots and getting back to Gascony and to St Emilion, how do you feel that part of the world, Bordeaux, is today? Do you feel as if it's come forward with the times, or do you think it's still stuck in the past?
Bordeaux, it's a great school of farming, it's a great school of marketing, it's a great school of winemaking, it's a great school of the wine industry. But today Bordeaux have 57 different appellations where some people are struggling with many different wines who are not recognized at the level they should be. And Bordeaux did create the Bordeaux classification in 1855 for the Médoc. 1 century later, arrived the St Emilion classification in 1955. Today, of course, we have the Grand Cru classé from Médoc, Pauillac, Saint-Estèphe, Margaux, Saint-Julien, Grave, or Pomerol St Emilion. Today, these wines are on the way to be on the best in the world, including the best competition coming from the New World. And I think Bordeaux, for this Grand Cru, has the excellence of the savoir-faire, but it probably will be difficult for the other estate on different small appellations like Bordeaux, Bordeaux Supérieur, or the Côte. What I'm thinking for Bordeaux, they need to probably change a few rules. They should be more open to more democracy, not the monarchy of the rule and the appellation, for blending, for winemaking, improving the farming. Why not using a little bit of irrigation on a very dry year like the 2003, something like that, etc., etc. I just want to open the door for keeping the Bordeaux people more open to improvement, and why not they don't improve the tradition too.
Some people mention of a new look at the classification system. How do you feel about that?
I don't know if you speak about the look of the Médoc classification or the future classification St Emilion, but probably for me, when we speak about classification in terms of terroir, I would like to have more the terroir and the soil dominant on the decision of the classification than many other parameters of the classification.
I understand what you're saying there. Pierre, thank you very much for joining us at Good Food Revolution today, and welcome to Toronto.
Thank you very much.
Take care.